Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Pitch Talk.
We are fans of football dropping vlogs, videos and podcasts on the beautiful game.
Check out our videos on YouTube and Instagram's IGTV,
including special feature segments, vlogs such as
5 Minutes with the G,
The Straight Shooting View,
Coaching with JBK,
audio on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts,
Podomatic, Spotify and other podcast platforms.
Join the Pitch Talk revolution on social media, Twitter, Instagram.
We have a group and fan page on Facebook.
The pitch is where we eat.
The pitch is where we sleep.
And the pitch is where we talk.
I can see you now. I can see you now and then.
Welcome to another Pitch Talk special feature. Welcome to this Pitch Talk special feature. Yours truly, Straight Shooting LJA, and I am here with
JBK.
We want to dive into underrepresentation of black and minority ethnic female players in football.
We are underrepresented in the place at the top of the table. At the head of the table, we're just underrepresented. It doesn't matter where you go, even if you say that the head coach in the NFL still has to answer to the president. You look at snooker. There isn't many snooker players that are black. Tiger Woods, pretty much the only golf person I know. That's the only famous one that everybody really knows. Lewis Hamilton, in a sport that pretty much said, well, Lewis Hamilton shouldn't even be on at the front row. Okay, but he's now 7-time world champion.
The accessibility barriers, the stereotypes, the perception of women's football, which I think was majorly hurt for those from a black and minority ethnic background because of the Eniola, Aluko and Drew Spence versus Mark Sampson issue. I think that did major damage because I said it's one of them ones. You saw 2 black women, 3 including Lianne Sanderson, who were basically hung out to dry by the England manager and the Football Association, who backed that manager as well, and then later on turned around and apologised. So it's one of them ones where it's like, if you're seeing that happening, why are you going to want to put yourself at risk like that? Why are you going to want to put yourself through that? And I think these are major reasons why there is underrepresentation in the women's game on the pitch, let alone off it. And then if you become a parent, you're going to be like, well, I don't want that to happen to my kids. So there starts to be a generational knock-on effect when you've got that as your view of one side of the game, or just the game in general. That level of really systemic racism that is basically encouraged by the powers that be in football. Is it any wonder that people from a black and or minority ethnic background don't want to get into the game? Because it's not showing itself to be inclusive.
The real factor comes money. The problem is if somebody's paying a player or paying a manager to get the results, she has to get the results way before bringing a team together.
When you've got managers who may not think that they've got the time to invest in players from impoverished backgrounds that they don't understand, that manager may want to understand that player and be like, you know what? I want to understand, I want to take the time and sit down with you, but because the way the game's set up, it's all predicated on results, you may be out of a job in 3-4 games, when that player may need 6, 7, 8, 9 months of mentoring.
You got to remember what the position is that they're holding, and they're holding a position that they could be replaced within a day or 2 if something goes wrong. And if you look at the Premier League nowadays, in the men's game and the women's game now, if the results are not going your way, you're sacked. So it's almost a case of, it's an overly intense environment where you're either here to win the game or you're not. And if you're not, I got to get rid of you. It's not even a question of, oh, I can give you 2 days. Nah.
Black players are very heavily represented on the pitch. But then once you start going up the chain, then you start to see that underrepresentation. It's all good, like Premier League having Black Lives Matter on the sides of
On the
shirts
back
and
of
on
the
the backs of shirts. But at the end of the day, until there's change at the top, it means nothing. And taking the knee with match of the day is just part of the show. Powers that be keep asking the question, keep doing these token gestures, these initiatives, but there needs to be more done to attack that systemic problem. Join the Pitch Talk revolution on social media, videos on YouTube,
Special feature segments.
Vlogs and podcasts on the beautiful game.